Hi, I'm Glenda, and welcome back to Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Mr. Rogers Project. If you want to watch episodes along with me, you can stream this on Amazon Prime. This is from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Volume 1. The original air date was February 19th, 1968. And the title for this episode is King Friday Challenges Change. This episode is in black and white. The synopsis. In this episode, Mr. Rogers opens by playing with a burlap bag. He's promoting creative play and use of imagination by finding uses for the bag. Mr. Rogers uses the burlap bag as a cape to be brave and strong. He sings the song, Be Brave. In the land of make-believe, King Friday has set up border guards. It feels a lot like war might begin. King Friday is upset with the changes in the land of make-believe and seems to be at war to challenge change, of course. King Friday says down with the changes because we are on top. King Friday is asking for names and serial numbers because he's afraid someone might be posing as his family, gaining access to the castle. When others are trying to make light of the changes, King Friday says he has no time for jokes and that we must be serious. He's all business right now. Lady Aberlin empathizes with Edgar, who has become the border guard. Edgar doesn't like the king's order to ask everyone for their serial numbers, and Lady Aberlin agrees. Later in the episode, Lady Aberlin is drafted to guard the border. Henrietta Pussycat admits to being afraid of war and shooting. When people play guns or play shooting, sometimes it's hard to tell if they are playing or if they are being mean. Mr. Rogers talks about change. He says everyone has a different outlook. Mr. Rogers also says the old is comfortable, but the new is exciting. Mr. Rogers does a segment at the kitchen table, and he says he doesn't read the newspaper during breakfast because it's not exciting for the people he's with. So he waits until after breakfast to read it. Mr. Rogers says that a good neighbor is there for you when you're scared. Mr. McFeely is still rushing in this episode, and Mr. Rogers concludes this episode with the Tomorrow Song. My observations, connections, and reflections. I think King Friday set up the guards because he's afraid that one change will lead to additional changes, leading to total loss of stability. The guard is a way to control the situation. When I feel the urge to get angry with someone about a change, I can try to have empathy for them. I can practice kindness, especially when that person is not in control or didn't cause the situation. After all, they might dislike the change as much as I do. I should also extend that empathy and kindness to myself when I'm feeling angry about a change. I think I'm a good neighbor when I know that someone else is scared. I want to get better at identifying emotions and behaviors people partake in when they're actually trying to hide their fears. I can get to this conclusion with reflection, but I'd like to see it immediately, in the moment. I think this will help me to not take someone's fear-masking behavior personally. Instead, I might be able to interpret their behavior as based in fear as it happens. In that case, I can be compassionate in the moment rather than responding with anger or judgment. This is how we can diffuse heated interactions. King Friday pushes people away because new people could bring changes. He's comfortable and feels in control when he knows everyone, what they do and how they behave. He likes to be at the top because he feels that he's in control and therefore can stay very comfortable. Being comfortable and in control makes him feel secure and provides the environment where he doesn't need to be afraid. I think the point Fred is trying to make about not reading the newspaper at the breakfast table is that you understand people more when you give them your undivided attention. Listen to others free from distractions, including your own thoughts and emotional stuff. Deep listening makes people know that you understand and care about them. It's how we begin to build community. While I know this, it's always a good reminder. I do sometimes rush like Mr. McFeely when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I sometimes rush when I feel like I don't have enough time to accomplish my to-do list. And when I rush, I don't listen deeply. This week on the show, Fred Rogers is helping children to try and process their feelings regarding the Vietnam War. Questions for myself. Why is King Friday afraid of change? And why doesn't he have time or space for play? Questions for you. Feel free to answer in the comments. What if you get curious about another person's anger instead of responding to them with your own feelings of anger? And most importantly, won't you be my neighbor?